Hey everyone! Welcome back to SCUM for Beginners. As you begin to explore SCUM Island, you will encounter many dangers, including puppets, NPCs, mechs, and wild animals. Today we're going to talk about how to protect and defend yourself with beginner weapons and armor. As soon as you land on the island, you can craft yourself a basic bow and arrow and a wooden spear. These items will serve you well as you begin making your way through homes and villages. For information on how to craft these items, check out my Getting Started video linked in the description. When using the bow, it is best to enter first person. This will ensure you have an accurate view of the range and placement of your arrows. For melee, I recommend using third person, as this view gives you a much better sense of the distance between you and your opponent and helps with aiming to ensure you inflict maximum damage. As you loot, you will come across a variety of tools and weapons to replace your spear. These items include knives, baseball bats, axes, hammers, shovels, farming tools, and so on. I prefer to use melee weapons that still provide some reach, such as the baseball bat, so that I can maintain some distance between my character and the enemy. Try different weapons to find out what works best for you. Firing a gun runs the risk of triggering a horde of puppets, but there may be times when your immediate safety calls for it, like if you encounter a group of NPCs and one or more of them has a gun. For that reason, I recommend crafting an improvised pistol or improvised rifle. Both are fairly easy to make, and the resources for each recipe are very common. Where most pistols, handguns, and shotguns only accept specific calibers of ammo, the improvised pistol and rifle accept a variety of ammo types. Indeed, most ammo that you stumble across throughout the island can be used in either the improvised rifle or improvised pistol. For that reason, I recommend crafting both to have on hand until you can gather the components for a better weapon. To make these items, you will need a mixture of craftable and looted items. Let's start with the improvised rifle. Open your crafting menu and search for the appropriate recipe. One cool thing about crafting in SCUM is that there are times when you can use alternative items for recipe ingredients. To see what acceptable alternatives are available, simply click on each ingredient. Alternatives will be pictured below the crafting recipe. This gives you more flexibility with crafting so you can substitute items with what you have instead of scouring the island for specific loot. How much resources are required for each recipe depends on your engineering skill level. Because my character has advanced engineering, I require less resources to make the same item as someone with medium or basic engineering. Your engineering skill will increase as you craft items. If you're struggling with inventory management while gathering resources for crafting recipes, I recommend crafting the improvised backpack. Also, don't forget to check which inventory items can stack to help maximize space. To make the improvised rifle, we need rope, small wooden logs, metal scrap, bolts, and a sharp object like a knife. As you cut down bushes to gather the small sticks needed to craft branch rope, you may notice that bushes also drop small wooden logs. Gather these for your recipe. Metal scrap can be easily found by searching broken down vehicles. Bolts and nails are scattered throughout the island, but the best places to look are tool sheds and workshops. With all ingredients in hand, craft the improvised rifle and drag it into a slot on your hotbar. The recipe for the improvised pistol differs slightly from the rifle. One notable difference is the requirement for wire. Similar to nuts and bolts, wire is scattered throughout the island, but a good place to check is tool sheds and workshops. Once you have gathered the necessary ingredients, craft it and place it on your hotbar. To load your weapon, take it in your hands and press the R button. Alternatively, from your inventory screen, with your weapon in hand, click and drag the ammo to your weapon. Improvised weapons only hold and fire a single bullet, and reloading takes time, so make those shots count. It's time to turn your attention to armor. There are two types of improvised armor you can craft early in your adventure: improvised stab vest and improvised bulletproof vest. The stab vest will provide added protection against puppets, but will not be sufficient when encountering NPCs with weapons. Despite that, it is better to have some protection than none, so craft what you can. For the improvised stab-proof vest, you will need duct tape, notebook or paper, rope, and a sharp object like a knife. Duct tape is scattered throughout the island, but good places to check are tool sheds and workshops. Notebooks and paper are fairly common in households, especially in filing cabinets and desks, and can also be found when looting puppets. The improvised bulletproof vest requires animal or human skin, which you can gather by chopping up animals and puppets. You will also need scrap and bolts and a sewing kit. A sewing kit can be found or crafted from thread and a needle. The thread is fairly common, and needles can often be looted from puppets. Alternatively, you can chop up a puppet and use its bones to make a bone needle. Once you have all of the necessary ingredients, craft the improvised bulletproof vest. With beginner armor and weapons in hand, you are better equipped to survive another day. Good luck and see you on SCUM Island!